So let's cut into the filet mignon. You know, one of the steak they call the king of all steaks? With that garlic herb butter oozing down and melt. Oh, hey, old friend. Hello, gorgeous. This is a lovely tradition. For 5 years now, we have brought you the Today's Special Value from Rastelli Meats. This is filet mignon, 10 5-ounce Black Angus Reserve filet mignons with the garlic herb butter and the Rastelli signature seasoning. This is a lovely celebratory meal. This is something you're going to be able to eat end to end because it is boneless. Now, if you're thinking that price sounds familiar, well, you'd be right, because it's the same price as last year. We held the price down. We also are going to be able to deliver it either now, 11/11 or 12/9, with auto delivery every 60 days for 1 year. This is Ray Rastelli, our own personal butcher. But we'd like to claim him, but we can't, because today marks your 48th year in business.
Yes, it does.
It was 48 years ago today you opened your first butcher shop?
It was 48 years ago today.
And I'm told that before it was a butcher shop, it was a donut shop.
It was. It was a donut shop that I used to go to because I was a musician at a very young age. And I went up there one morning, the donut shop was closed, and the woman who was whitewashing the windows, I said, "What are you going to do with that store?" And she says, "Well, I'm not sure." And she said, "Would you like to rent it?" And I said, "How much?" She said, $130 a month. I said, "Okay." And she said, "What are you going to put here?" I said, "I'm not really sure, but I got to go to work." Right?
$130 a month
Yes.
is nothing.
But that's how it all started.
Oh my gracious. And then you decided you would open a butcher shop.
A butcher shop, because the area didn't have a butcher shop. South Jersey, of course, South Philadelphia had lots of butcher shops, but South Jersey didn't. So we just focused on that South Jersey.
Is that a young
area.
Ray Rastelli? Which one is you?
Yeah, I'm the one with the beard there.
On the left.
Yeah, on the left, and that's my younger brother.
Beard.
Yeah, and that's my younger brother.
Oh,
and of course,
Mr. Rastelli.
David, that's opening day, and that's my wife there, right in the center, the little tiny one in the dark shirt. She's 6 months pregnant there, and that's why we had to go to work. Right?
With Ray the Third, right?
With my oldest daughter, who's Rachel.
Oh, I beg your pardon.
Ray the Third came a couple of years after that.
Ray the Third came a little later.
Yeah.
You're Ray Jr. Your son is Ray the Third. His son is Ray the Fourth.
That's right. And you got to meet my dad, Ray Sr.
I did get to meet
Yes, you did.
Ray Sr. Oh, my gracious. It is something so special. And in the nearly 10 years you've been on QVC, you've won 41 Customer Choice Food Awards.
Thank you for that. We are honored.
Oh my gracious. And those are voted on not by the Rastelli team and not by the QVC team, but by you, our customers. So we are super excited about this. And this tradition is so important because for the day, since midnight last night when you kicked this off with Sean, over 19,000 have been ordered. 19,000 sets of 10. In the show, over 4,600 have been ordered.
Wow.
Now, we have immediate ship 11/11 or 12/9, but if you want 11/11, not easy for me to say. We have how many left? 7,200 left. Auto delivery has been wildly popular. Why? Because the cost of beef always goes up. Mr. Rastelli has agreed to keep yours at the same price you're paying today, which is a really important gift.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that, sir.
You are
This
welcome.
is a lovely product, and I cooked this the other night before I had some people over for dinner, and they walked in the door and they were like, "Something smells good. What's for dinner?" I said, "We're not just having steak, we're having filet." They're like, "Filet?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm." And they said, "Well, how did you cook it?" And I said, "In the air fryer."
In the air fryer.
It's just finishing up now.
Yes.
But we're not going to be done because I'm going to take it out of the air fryer and then I'm going to top it with garlic herb butter like they do at the really fine steakhouses. And they're like, "Oh." And everybody was very quiet. And then they ate it, and then when my head was turned, they licked the plate. Don't miss out on this because you'll see my steaks that I posted to my Facebook page, They're available QVC, and also to my Instagram stories. And you'll find it there. But this is the offer. You're getting 10 5-ounce steaks. Now, all of these are boneless, so you eat them end to end.
End to end, completely trimmed. There is no fat and gristle on this, so that when you get this home, all you've got to do is defrost it and use one of the many methods to cook that.
At retail, 10 of these steaks that are 5 ounces each are at minimum $250. We're at $159.98. Same price as last year's traditional filet mignon Today's Special Value. This is the 5th year we've done it as a Today's Special Value. Our customers look forward to this, and if we don't have it, they say, "When is the Rastelli filet TSV, Today's Special Value?" TSV is internal talk. So it's important to know all of this butter comes with. You get a tub of the butter, you get a container or a packet of the seasoning, and then each steak is individually packaged. You're looking at something that is extraordinarily flavorful, something that is very juicy, very tender, because filet by its definition is so buttery, right?
It is.
Everything about the filet is going to be soft, and you can cut it with a fork. You barely even need teeth to chew it. I mean, this melts on your tongue. It's an unbelievable taste treat that you and your family and your extended family and friends will enjoy for the holiday season and beyond, because of auto delivery and because of the, or however long 10 steaks last in your house. They wouldn't last very long in my house. This is very important. Go ahead and order what you need. If you want to sign up for auto delivery, it would be a good thing. And Mr. Rastelli is melting some of his garlic herb butter in a plain skillet. Notice he didn't put anything in there but the garlic herb butter.
Just the garlic herb butter.
Not because he's worried about sticking. He wants to cook the steaks in the butter and then baste it with the butter. Oh, I love when you do this.
Yes, and it's so simple. I wanted to show you, basically, you're going to take that filet mignon. Once you get that filet mignon, like I did here, get it out of the package, let it get the room temperature. Now here's where
we're shooting down the pan, so you can leave it.
Okay, so you get it right to room temperature. And then what I like to do is take some seasoning, and I'm going to drop a little bit of that seasoning on top. But what's happening, David, is our steaks are searing in there. And of course, you can continue to sear this way and just finish it. Always a little butter is better. So we got a little bit more butter we're going to drop in here.
I have some up here.
We got some up there as well. But this garlic herb butter has got beautiful herbs, real spices and herbs, and of course, that beautiful butter melting in that pan gives us the ability to do this, David, to take that and just begin to baste.
That's liquid gold, baby.
Our filet mignons. Now, this has been in here for about 35 or 40 seconds. I just want to flip it and show you really how quickly this is going to sear. Look at how beautiful that filet is. And this is what they do at the great steakhouses for you. That's why.
And that color you see there, that's flavor.
That's right. And of course, just continue to baste. And you can see the real herbs that are in that butter just sitting right on top.
I mean, my shoes would taste good dipped in butter. It's important to know butter makes everything better. And I was talking to Valerie last week. She had some of that buttered Farmer John's popcorn that we have coming up in the show. And I said, Stacy Stauffer and I were on the air, and she talked about an all-butter batter cake. I'm like, I need that cake in my life. All butter batter. This is all butter in the pan.
In the pan, yes. And of course, we're going to go ahead and let them sear for a while. We're going to actually cook these right in the pan. Now, if you'd like, you can actually take this skillet, drop it in your oven at 350, and it'll be done in 5 minutes. And that's typically what you get at a steakhouse. And when they come out of the oven, David, they're going to kind of look like this. Just like this steak here. And of course, that's where you take that little dollop of butter, just drop it right on top, and you're going to see it just melts into the filet. Because remember, the filet mignon is the most tender of all steaks. It is porous, which means anything you put on there is going to actually melt into that steak. And watch what happens when I cut into it. It's like my knife is gliding through that like it's velvet, right? And look at how every single steak is going to look exactly the same, because these are all beautiful center-cut filet mignons. And of course, there's that butter bath, David, that butter waterfall that we talk about all the time.
I mean, come now, when you, and thank you, Mr. Director, for bringing the camera in very close. This is a lovely, lovely taste experience. It's a whole experience. I was so excited to cook the filet the other night because it was something so special and something so out of the ordinary and something that most people don't serve for dinner because it's not something that they're hands-on affordably, not like today's special item.
Yeah.
So this is lovely. And baste your steaks with more butter. I mean, could it be bad? No.
Look at that.
I mean, come on. If that doesn't look good to you, your eyes are closed. Go ahead and open up. We'll wait. I mean, look, feast your eyes. And then I wish we had smell-o-vision so you could smell it. And then I wish we had taste-o-vision so you could taste it. Oh, my gracious.
But, David, it's all about where we start. And think about this. To get the very, very best filet mignon, you've got to start with the best breed of animals, and that's why it's Black Angus. It's not just any Black Angus, though. It's a reserve collection, which means only 4% of all of our cattle are going to actually qualify for this. And you can see these cattle. These are actually out on my farm where we are raising many of these Black Angus cattle. Now, of course, we need a lot more than what just I can raise, so we have about 40 or so family farmers around the country that we've been working with. And
I'm just basting, Mr.
There
Rastelli.
you go. And that same filet mignon that we are actually cutting for you and giving you is the same one that's being served in so many restaurants. This happens to be a great steakhouse right here in Westchester. And that garlic herb butter going on top, David, that's the same garlic herb butter. So I wanted you to have the same exact experience at home as if a waiter was bringing it to you. So if you'd like, David and I will come over and serve that to you.
We
just like
will,
that,
we
Wayne.
promise.
Yes.
And it's important that Mr. Rastelli goes to the butcher block because he is a butcher by training. 48 years?
48 years
today.
Today, yes.
Today.
Yes.
It was the 27th of October back in 1976.
That's right.
You opened your first store.
The very first store. And of course, you know, having a small butcher shop is where you learn everything, not just about meat, but about people. And the one thing we learned about people is give them what they want. Give them the very, very, very best all the time, and you'll have customers for life. And we're pleased to say we do that. And that's important. But here's where we start. You saw we were on the farm. Now this filet gets in us. This tenderloin typically is covered in fat, David, and that's when we age it because we want the protection of the meat. So as we age this, finally take all the fat, all the nerves, all the gristle off, then we slice these beautiful center cuts. Now, we do not use the tail portion. We do not use the head portion. We use just the center cuts. This is what your filet should look like. You see the beautiful marbling that's inside of this filet. That's what I call meat candy. See that? Look at that's going to melt.
All that will render down.
That will render down. It'll melt and it'll make it very tender. You're also going to notice there is no fat on this filet. Now, you're going to eat from one end to the other. They're nice, thick fillets, and they're the perfect 5-ounce portion. And
I should point out that it's now 1:31. If you're just tuning in to QVC, this is Ray Rastelli, our own personal butcher at QVC, but we can't take all the credit because 48 years ago you opened your first shop. 48 years ago today, you opened that first shop, and so we're thrilled to have you back. Sir, happy anniversary to you.
Thank you so much.
It's important to know that we are talking about 10 5-ounce fillets as our today's special value. This is a tradition. 5 years we've been doing this as a today's special value. Now, if this price looks familiar to you, there's good reason for that because it's the same price as the last year, which is almost unheard of in the beef industry. This is 10 5-ounce fillets. You get a tub of the roasted garlic herb butter, and you get a packet of the Rastelli seasoning. A beautiful mix of salt, pepper, garlic, and a few other secret things that Mr. Rastelli won't tell me about. So it's important to know. All I know is it tastes great. And it's lovely. And these packets, I believe, are resealable, yes?
Yes, they are.
So you can just tear the top off, use what little bit of seasoning you need, and then close it back up.
That's right.
Now, are you ready for a big number, Mr. Rastelli? Chris Mincer, come over here, sir. Stand right here beside your boss. You've been with him for 25 years. How do you two feel about 20,000 sets of steaks ordered for the day?
Thank you so much.
That's incredible.
20,000 in this show alone? 5,000.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, we're going to come and visit with you very shortly, Mr. Mincer. All right. Now, let's say hello to Victoria. She's joining us in the great state of Indiana, and she's been very patient on the phones. Victoria, how are you today?
Well, hello. Hello. How are all of you?
We're doing very well. It's nice to have you here. Please meet Ray Rastelli.
Well, hello there. I have bought your steaks many times. I actually have the tenderloin roast coming in December.
Oh, you're going to love that.
Along with the crab cake. And I have, when I couldn't get your product on QVC because I didn't have it, I went directly to your website and ordered yours. So I love your steaks. I love all of your meats that you have. I was telling the nice lady I talked to today, Monday, a week, I went to the store and I bought 2 fillets. Each fillet was $34.50.
I mean, each fillet was 34 and change.
Yeah.
So it was, it was over 70. It was $70.
This breaks down to like $15, $16 fillet.
$15.90 per
Right.
steak.
$15.90.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Almost $16.
Exactly. But, we like filet, and I don't have a Rastelli's around here, and so I wanted filet, and I bought them, and I don't regret it. I mean, they were delicious, but they weren't as good as Rastelli's. And that's what I was telling the lady. I said, I have liked your product so much that when they weren't on QVC, I would go to Rastelli's and I would order them online because I knew what I was getting. I knew that you weren't going to just sell me something. You were going to sell me the best you could.
The best
and that's why
around, exactly.
I am such a Yeah, and congratulations on your 48 years, by the way.
Thank you so much. And it's so wonderful to hear you say, you trust the meat because, for many, many years, our mission was to make sure that all of our customers across the counter, across the camera, just trust in what we do. My mom had a simple saying.
I trust you, and that's why I trust the meat, because I know